It's time to do the motherfucking podcast so Dominic can watch football.
Fucking stinky, man.
Stinky,
Holy.
stinky poo poo caca farts.
It's bad.
Oh, you stinky cuckas. You go to stinky poopies. Ooh woo.
Every time somebody in Discord says Arakara,
What
I
is
think, ooh, Ara, ooh, woo.
Let's see. Hey, Ken, thank you so much for the resub. 83 months, you absolute sexy, handsome, skinny legend. We love you. And yeah, we're going to be crushing some keys soon, dude. I need,
What level's
I gotta
Kenny?
get the Ken's, I know he's capped. I don't know how, what the eye level's at, but I know he's at level cap.
Are we talking WoW or are we talking Destiny? What are we talking?
Oh, we're talking about nobody plays Destiny anymore. Grow up.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Oh,
577 and climbing fast. I'm at 593. Get your money up, not your funny up.
you boys at 595 suck dick, baby.
Damn.
I'm at 70 because that's the level you start at, right? With the level cap thing.
Did you actually
And
install
then-
it?
It's fully installed. I've yet to start it. It's fully installed. It's fully installed. I'm roaring to go. Listen, someone just get me in a guild, show me the mines, and I'm good to go. All right.
Love it.
I yearn for the mines. I yearn for the mines.
I just bought a new mouse that has 18 buttons on the side of it. Because 2 on my mouse isn't enough anymore.
I feel
I'm
you.
gonna be honest. I've had a mouse with like 6 buttons, and I've had a mouse with 2 buttons, and I've never used any side button.
Just
in
too many
my entire
spells.
tenure.
Too many spells I gotta pop. I don't know what to tell you. I need more buttons.
Someone get more buttons. That'd be a good like.
We can talk maybe like a little starter guide for Tiggy, like what to get. Fun fact, Tiggy, a lot of the guys doing Raid World First with Liquid right now are ex-League players. So
Really?
they used to clicking buttons, and popping cooldowns and gearing appropriately. All right. Everybody go tweet it out too, or retweet what I posted, please, so that everybody can get in here. Here we go. On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we are going to be talking about the Warhammer Space Marine 2 developer CEO, whose comments have been setting Twitter on fire, and it probably should stay that way and probably should burn to the ground. World of Warcraft Raid World First is underway, and we got all the updates for you. The PS5 Pro discourse continues. I don't think we actually got to the PS5 Pro news last week, so we'll talk about a little bit of that. We'll do a couple voicemails if we got them. We'll talk to Tiggy about some WoW starter tips and a whole lot more. So strap yourselves in. Enjoy the ride. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times, because episode 406 is coming at you right now. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. We are back live, direct, and handsome. It is a beautiful day in this internet neighborhood. The birds are chirping, the Twitter eggs are screaming, and they got their torches and pitchforks. The gamers are gaming, the grinders are grinding, the pumpers are pumping, and we could not be more live right now. Thank you to everybody who is watching us on your favorite podcast platform, or listening to us, I should say, on your favorite podcast platform. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, download, do whatever you got to do. Spread the good word. Go to patreon.com/wickedgoodgaming and support the show for as little as $1. And speaking of support, I could not do this show without the support of my two beautiful co-hosts. Of course, we have a man who has never used any of his 6 senses to consume anything anime related in his entire life. He can 100% squat, deadlift, and decline bench more than your favorite gaming journalist. And I swear to God, if he's not topping raid DPS charts in his guild raids this weekend, we're going to have a conversation. Dr. Bob, how are you?
I assure you, I won't be.
I believe in you.
Dude,
not with that attitude, you won't. Not with that attitude, you won't.
I'm not good at WoW. I don't know. Listen. I don't claim to be good at video games. I'm good at besides Gears of War.
What? Hold on a second.
Online.
Clip that. Somebody clip that because that is the most bold-faced lie I have ever heard. And I don't claim to be good at business.
We can have the recorder read back what you said, Bob.
Gears of War, guns online. That's my fucking history. Those are the plaques on my walls.
That is the craziest revisionist history I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't claim to be good at.
Never once claimed.
I think I just felt a blood vessel pop in one of my temples. I'm not gonna lie. I just felt something. If there's a little red dot on my eye, just let me know before I pass out.
Yeah, I'm not good at WoW. I've learned that the hard way. I'm trying to be better, but I'm not good at WoW.
You were good when we were playing in like Shadowlands. We were doing like Mythic Plus keys, and you had a good rotation down when you were playing with your Warlock.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just not good at Death Knight.
I'm definitely not good at Death Knight. I feel like
it's hard.
Like melee DPS is different.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
it's hard,
range
dude.
DPS, you're off at the fucking outer perimeter, and then you don't even have to look at your screen. You're just looking at your keyboard, pressing the buttons. But yeah, melee DPS, not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
figure it
melee's
out.
tough, man. Melee is definitely tough. I mean, there's a lot more movement that has to be involved. You know, and Death Knight is definitely at a tough. It's a high skill ceiling class for sure. Like it's considered a very high skill ceiling. Like everybody can be solid at it, but if you want to be like really really good, then you have to. It's a very high skill ceiling.
You're right.
Class.
And you know what? I'm incredibly skilled at video games, so I'm gonna hit that skill ceiling.
I believe it. I mean, if anybody, I believe in you. And of course, we have a man who is currently wearing what looks like a Tony Soprano bowling shirt. I'm not exactly quite sure where he got that, but I love it. If you're ever in Silver Q and you hear Sam the Eagle from the Muppets come out of your back room talking about all the rules and regulations of the game and every which way you should play it, an uncredentialed MLB analyst and journalist, a man who has hit more balls in a Major League Baseball park than you have, a man who might just be maybe the white Pedro Sanchez of backyard sports, and a man who owns way too many 100 Thieves hats. Tiggy Nation, how are you, sir?
You know, I'm fantastic. I'm just keeping Nate Shot in business, and that's what I like to do as a true NA supporter. That's what I'm going to have to do. You know, I'm waiting on the new FlyQuest merch, waiting on the new Worlds jersey. They've been teasing it, and I want it now because guess what? I want to wear it when we rise to the top for that Summoners Cup.
Absolutely.
We want it bad. So
this is NA's year.
Cream of the crop, brother.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. The cream of the crop.
Also, this jersey is Green Day. Shout out Green Day.
Oh.
Look how cool this is. Look how cool this is. Now you feel like shit, don't you? Don't you, Dom?
Tiggy.
Don't
they should. Billy Joel Armstrong should still be sleeping right now. Okay. The Green Day that you saw was a cover band.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
He can't wake up for at least another 2 weeks. It's literally like 2.5.
Yeah, he's still asleep. Everybody knows that. Who the fuck did you go see last night?
I don't know. It was a hell of an impersonator because the show was top tier. If anyone's chance to go see Green Day, go see them. It's toward the end. Unfortunately, it's probably already left your city. Incredible time though.
The thing is, everybody knows not to buy tickets in September because he's asleep.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah, well, the doppelganger was pretty good too. Pretty
It was a hologram, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Then Tupac came on stage.
Yeah, they played. Did they play at Fenway? Yeah, it was a month ago. They were at Fenway a month ago. Damn. But hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Dog, Ken, Coleman. Appreciate you all. Make sure you leave us a voicemail 617-701-7678. But let's dive right in. Let's do a little weekend recap, shall we?
Son, where'd you find this?
Tiggy, you had some shit going on this weekend. What were you doing? You were busy this weekend, if I remember correctly. What were you up to?
I hate to even say. I'm gonna be honest. I hate to even try and think what I did this weekend because I'm just blanking out.
Dude, I do the same thing. That's why I went to you first because I do the same thing.
So I believe I golfed a lot. I think I golfed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I played horrific. I think I shot 90. Somehow managed to shoot a 75 on the back end, and then shot an additional 102 on Saturday. I was just absolutely all over the place, swinging left and right and all over. Had a lot of fun. NFL, I think I just watched NFL Sunday. Just kind of relaxed, just kind of chilled. Just been doing that. Been grinding League of Legends, and I tell you, people talk about the Emerald Elo Hell. I am in Bronze/Silver Elo Hell, and I'm playing with Iron some games, and people are arguing with me, and I'm going to be honest, they might be right, but I will not let them win. I mean, we are just getting absolutely abused. They're changing the FF timer from like 15 to 12 minutes. I'm like, listen, 12 minutes. Let's get out of here, guys.
Make it 10. Make it 10.
Let's cut and run.
You got to make it 10.
Let's make it 10.
Honestly, top laner dies first time, like just game over.
Yeah,
right
FF.
there.
No,
Send
FF.
it right
Top laner dies
Game's
first
over.
time at 2.5 minutes. I'm FFing right away.
Yorick's got 2 kills by 5 minutes. It's over.
Yeah,
It's absolutely
100%.
the game's just fucking tossed.
100%.
So I've been playing a little of that. Playing a little Monkey, playing a little Among Us with some people.
A little Among
with some face cams on. I will bring up Xbox as well. I played a couple games of Xbox PUBG with like my brother.
What year is it?
And our cousin, his friend. Dude, I don't know if we're in ball lobbies or what, but there are people with no thumbs on that. And we have been winning every single game.
You're 100%. You're in ball
winning every game. I think we're playing real people, honestly.
No,
I think
you're
it's
not.
cross-play with some in 1G or something like that. We're playing those guys.
Yeah.
But
That's fucking hilarious.
and then I installed World of Warcraft. I haven't bought a subscription, but I've installed the game on the PC.
Big developments. Big developments here. Maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll do a little like some starter tips, because I know like Bob's just coming back after a while. I'm a pretty seasoned vet, but everything changes now and again. So we can maybe do a couple of tips to get you settled in. And you can play up to level 20 for free, which is like you could probably bang that out in like 2 hours. Honest to God, like you probably get to level 20 in like 2 hours at this point. But you'll get an idea for the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I already bought the expansion, so is it even worth doing the 20, or do I go right to the 70?
I mean,
you go straight to 70.
Oh, go straight to 70. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go straight to 70.
Go straight to 70. Yeah. No.
But I will say my experience is I've watched Make Love Not Warcraft, I think 23 times.
Okay.
So I have seen that.
That's a good resume.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Not too bad.
I think you play 1 to 20 and then use the 70 boost, just so you can get an idea of like what your core abilities do, because by level 20, whatever class you pick, you'll have a good idea of what your like rotation is. But as you go from 20 to 70 or 20 to 80, that's where a lot of your cooldowns come in, and it's like, how do you enhance those abilities and use them in better synergy? And then you're going to have to worry about talents and stuff like that, and actual builds. So, but we'll get there. As for me,
I feel like old Warcraft would be so different than current. Though.
oh no, you can play Dragonflight from 1 to 20. You can start right there. It'll start you like in the new content or the.
Oh, okay.
You can do. I'm like 99% sure, because you do your starter zone and that spits you out at like level 5 or something like that, and then it'll say like, oh, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to Dragonflight? Do you want to go to Pandaria? Do you want to go to Draenor or whatever? Don't go there.
Shadowlands. Do you want to go to the Maw?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Torghast. Do you want to go to Torghast?
Torghast, Tower of the Damned.
For fucking
Legion.
months?
But yeah, so we'll I've been trying to play some WoW this weekend. Had a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of shit done around the house. Watched the Patriots lose. That sucked. What else did we do? Got the normal raid done. Got my first Queen Ansarak kill on normal. I'm gonna try to push for heroic. Almost at 600 eye level. I want to try to get a couple bosses down to heroic next week. I'll have plenty of time next weekend, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I really would love to get ahead of the curve for Queen Ansarak, because I feel like I know the raid really well already, and I think I can definitely get there. I just need to find the right group to do it. And I'm loving the expansion. It's great. Had the best DPS night of my life. Actually, ironically, last night I just had like an hour and a half and cranked through 6 more bosses in Nerubah Palace, and I was just like pissing all over everybody else on the damage meters, and then I went to go look at my logs on Warcraft logs just to see what my passes were, and it was still only like 50th percentile. I was fucking cranking. I was dialed. I was like blacked out. It was like when what is it? Jesse Eisenberg in the Social Network, when he's like dialed in and he's like no, don't touch his keyboard. He's dialed in. That was me, dude. I was jacked in. I was the keyboard. Didn't miss a single cooldown, and it was like 50th percentile. So I just got to get my gear up. I got to get my gear up and make sure I'm getting the right enchantments and stuff like that, just to make sure I'm all suited and booted. But I'm not going to do that until I start getting some better gear. There's no use wasting the money because the economy in the game is just absolutely dumpstered already. What else? Started playing a little Warhammer Space Marine 2 as a little kind of change of pace. I spent like about an hour with it, not even. It's like Gears of War, except without the empathy. So, like, Gears of War is like, here's a bunch of jacked, like, steroided out dudes with chainsaw guns. But also, it's a story about brotherhood and how everybody has something to lose, and you need to, like, be ready to fight for that loss, but also be prepared to lose it. And, like, how do you help pick up your fellow man to kind of, like, get through the horrors of war? Space Marine is just the first part of that. It is just jacked, roided out dudes with chainsaw guns and zero additional substance. It is, we are going to fucking wipe this planet clean of this other species, and that is it. That is the plot of the game. It is astounding that it is what it is. It is just like, that's the best way I can put it. It's Gears of War without the empathy and without, like, the lesson. The lesson is like, you know, war is hell, and, like, you know, there's also some allegories to, like, not treating the environment poorly and shit like that, because then they turn into locusts or whatever the fuck they retconned it into. But it doesn't have that. All those emotional moments that Gears of War has, it's like it's Gears if you skip all the cutscenes. That's literally what it is. Because the cutscenes in Space Marine are just this dude with a neck the size of a fucking sequoia tree trunk, who's just ripping aliens apart with his bare hands, and is like, yeah, here we just gave you more steroids so you can go kill more aliens. And then the mission starts, and they drop you out of a plane, and that's it. That's what Space Marine 2 is in a nutshell, in case you were wondering.
That's awesome. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff on it. It reminds me of that Helldivers game too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like kind of how the art looks and stuff. So
yeah. So there's a good, and we'll talk more about Space Marine 2 and kind of what part it's playing right now in a certain conversation. But it has a very Helldivers-esque kind of feel where, like, there's this, you have that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's like this jingoism where it's like almost like a comical, like, patriotic element to it, where they're like, you know, my blood for the emperor, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's, you know, you have that element as well, and like the brotherhood and the, you know, taking the battle seriously. But I think you play the first 6 campaign missions, and then you create your own character, and you have, like, repeatable PvE and PvP missions that you do. I think that's kind of the real beef of the game, but I haven't gotten there yet. But Bob, how was your weekend? What'd you do? What'd you play? Who'd you see? What do you know? What do you say?
It was okay. I had to work late again last week because I was sick the first half of the week. Got a stomach bug last week. Oh boy, that wasn't good. Ended up having to work like a couple of hours on Saturday after I took my nephew golfing for the first time. My oldest nephew. So took him golfing. He had a good time. Yeah. I actually played fairly well too. Driver wasn't on, but like my second shots, all of them were pretty good. And I was putting pretty well. And then really all I've been playing is like, I'll jump on TFT every once in a while once I get wowed out. Been really grinding at WoW recently. You know, if I don't have anything immediate in the game to do or want to do, I'll go like mount hunt for a little bit. So like today I got one of the cinder bees.
You got it?
Yeah, it took like 4 hours worth of mob killing.
I like don't have the patience for that right now, but I want it so bad.
You gotta kill like 1,000 bees.
Jesus Christ.
You got to get 900 pieces of pollen.
Ugh, I have like 50.
Yeah, but the good thing is people farm it because
Yeah.
you need because people skin, and once you get what's it called, Belladar spawns item for another mount, you have to get like 900 chitin, and you can get that off of those too.
Yeah, I have. I'm doing skinning leatherworking on my rogue, and I need to do that just to get the. So yeah, the next time, maybe after I get locked out to the raid, once I kill these 2 bosses again, maybe I'll try to do that, and I'll just try to do some idle skinning and killing. I'm just gonna fan of
Dude,
knives.
you go to you have to go in a group because I think they're all elite.
Yeah.
But if you go to Centermead Brewery and you just LFG, like if you look for a group and just type in B, you'll see 7 fucking groups that say B Wolf Farm.
Perfect.
And that's all they do. They just one tank rounds up 60 fucking bees and wolves.
Yeah, you fucking
and you
AoE
just
them down.
AO them down.
Amazing.
And then they sit there and skin for fucking 3 minutes.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, been wowing out. Been playing a lot of WoW. Had raid night over my first ever like real raid night with like a group of people.
Nice.
Which felt really good.
Nice. Love that.
I'm slowly turning into a WoW guy.
Hell
This is
yeah.
crazy.
Hell yeah.
And we just recruited Steve into the guild.
Nice. Nice.
Steven Hoodie ran with us on Saturday night. Both performed well above my numbers. Well above my numbers. I found out on Sunday that I completely forgot to add a spell to my rotation,
Oh no.
and it went up by like 170 DPS.
That'll happen.
Yeah, I did that with my Warlock in fucking what's it called, in Dragonflight too. I
Yeah.
completely forgot one skill.
I was teaching a buddy who's playing Rogue about like the finishers he should use, and he's like, "Wait, I don't do like, I thought I had to hit like slice and dice every time, which is just something that it stays up when you use your other finishers." I'm like, "Dude, no, you're not even doing damage when you do that." And he's like, "Oh, wait, what?" I'm like, "You're wasting all of your combo points on a move that gets refreshed by your other damage dealing expenditures."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Fuck."
I'm slowly, very slowly learning DK. So
get
I think as time goes on, the number should just consistently go up as I learn. But who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe I fucking have hit the ceiling. Maybe this is all I can do. I don't know.
Maybe.
And maybe I do have to go back to my Warlock and get him to 80.
I believe in you.
But yeah, so raid nights are going to be Saturday nights. Looking forward to it. And what else? And just squeezing in like TFT, a match of TFT when I get bored of WoW. Like if I have nothing else to do or want to do, I'll play a match of TFT, realize how much I fucking hate the game right now, and how sweaty everybody. Dude, it took me a month to get out of Emerald because Emerald, like Tiki said, Emerald is Elo hell.
Yeah.
Legitimate Elo hell. Diamond was Elo hell before Emerald.
Yeah.
Now Diamond is just Emerald 2.
Ew.
And it's just the second version of Elo hell.
Ew.
So it's fucking bad. And every time I play it, I don't know. TFT's in such a weird spot. This set only has a couple of weeks left, so I don't think I'm hitting Masters this set. But it is what it is.
Well, you don't play that competitively, right? You don't care about TOT in that realm, right?
I mean, if I got into Masters early enough into a set, I might consider like only playing TFT for a while just to see if I could hit GM or Challenger. Because I got Masters 250 LP, which is technically Grandmaster, for 4 sets ago? So if I got back up to Masters early in the set, I probably would grind it.
Okay.
And maybe enter a couple of cups, because you could do that.
Hell yeah. We're going to see you in Vegas this fall.
I don't know. It's tough. This set's tough.
Blackjack Bobby. We're going. Need it. What was I going to say? Yeah, no, I mean, WoW is definitely like there's a learning curve to it. And like I said, I mean, some certain classes have higher skill ceilings than others. And some are even kind of deceptively difficult because it's, you have to balance certain things that you didn't know you had to. And, but, it's that's what makes it fun. So, Yeah, right now we currently have Raid World First underway. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, every single time a new raid comes out in World of Warcraft, or at least in kind of the modern era of World of Warcraft, they make a big deal out of the first team to complete the raid on the highest difficulty. So teams prepare for weeks and weeks and weeks just to get their characters geared. Guilds around the world will level as many characters as possible and gear them as much as possible, literally playing the game around the clock to like get geared, leveled, and they'll have, you know, I don't know, 10 characters each at their disposal just so they can play different classes and make sure that they can switch in and out of different comps when necessary, which actually sounds kind of miserable. I feel like I would never want to play the game outside of those parameters if I was a guild raider like that. But Raid to World First is underway right now. There's 3 really big names in the mix. There's more than that, but the 3 biggest names are Team Liquid, or Liquid Guild, which used to be Complexity Limit, led by Maximum, who's probably one of, if not the most well-known raid leads in the game. There's also Echo, which is EU. Liquid is obviously NA. And then there's Method, which is based in the UK. But there have actually been some very interesting other guild names in the mix. There's a much, much, much smaller...
You're right. The early shift. Shout out Hoodie.
Shout out to Hoodie.
The early shift.
Shout out to Hoodie and the early shift who are grinding. I don't know what their progression's looking like right now. I gotta look them up on Raider.io or something and see if I can find where they're at. But for Mythic progression, a very small guild on the same server as Liquid world first at the first 2 bosses, and their name is Melee Mechanics. And Melee Mechanics is literally, like, I only saw it because the guy from Melee Mechanics retweeted it and was like, what the fuck just happened? And it was the official Warcraft account that said, like, congrats to Melee Mechanics on downing the first 2 bosses first in the world. And this guy has, like, 200 followers. Like, they are not well known at all. I don't know if they're really well known in kind of like the inner circle of, like, competitive WoW players. But as of right now, they are... neck and neck with some of the best in the world. So I said it a couple weeks ago. I said I really hope that like a no-name guild or like a relative, not to this is not a knock against them, a relatively no-name guild gets Raid World First instead of the big 3, because it just turns into like a marketing, like dick measuring competition, and I'd so much rather see, you know, a guild that nobody's ever heard of come out of nowhere and hopefully get some love and get some notoriety from it. You know, and it keeps Max humble, hopefully. So who knows? There's also I'm trying to look at a couple other ones that might be well known.
Wait, wasn't it Method that world firsted last
Method?
thing?
I think Echo world firsted Amir Drasil, The Dream's Hope, which was the last Dragonflight raid, and I think Method was before that.
Yep, it was Method, Echo. So Liquid when's the last time Liquid world first?
Liquid was Vault of the Incarnates. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Echo was Vault of the Incarnates. Liquid was Abiris, the Shadowed Crucible, which was the second raid in the game. And oh no, I'm sorry. Echo took 2 of the 3. Echo got Amir Drasil. So they've done two of the 3 raids in Dragonflight. Yeah. So Liquid's been on the back burner, and Method's been kind of sniffing at their heels. So
Method had an eye level of like 619.8.
They were crazy.
When I was watching earlier today, I don't know what Liquid's eye level is, but Liquid has definitely made the most progress on.
Liquid's even higher. They were like
630
or something like that. Like legit jacked, insanely jacked.
How does that even happen? Like, how do you get into fucking Mythic 12s?
I don't even. 623 is their highest. Their highest eye level is 623 on Liquid, and this is as of whenever Raider.io last updated it, and Echo's highest is 622. So they're sniffing at their heels there. And then Method is, I think, way behind. I'm pretty sure they're like 616. No, they're up there now. They must have done some serious work today, because they had 616 when I checked this morning. But they have one guy who has a 1206 Mythic Plus score, which is disgusting. 1494 to one guy. 1798.
They opened up on Tuesday. What the fuck?
That's disgusting. Their highest Mythic Plus score is 1845. That's ridiculous.
It opened on Tuesday. Like, what do you? That's all they've been
when
doing.
when it's their full time
mythics.
job. Yeah, I guess it's just the one that's
I
their.
guess, yeah.
It's what you get to do, and it's your first full time job, I guess.
guess.
But we love an underdog. History loves an underdog. The chicks love an underdog. So shout out to Melee Mechanics. I hope that they end up, getting back in the mix, and hopefully we see them. Right now, every guild in the world is stuck on the 4th boss, and there's 8. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see
Tiki,
what
it's
happens.
if you've never watched a world first, so the very first one that I ever watched was in Dragonflight, and it was like some backstory on me. I'm sure I've told you this story before, but I used to try to world first zombies for Call of Duty.
I'm gonna grab some water real quick.
Like those were, like the group that I would run with, we were the fucking underdogs. Like we were the Melee Mechanics of Black Ops 1 and 2, but like we very seldom had the chance to be world first because we weren't running it. Like half of our group would be in fucking the UK and half of us would be in NA. So like we couldn't run till 3 o'clock in the morning because 3 o'clock in the morning for us would be fucking 10 a.m. for them. And they were like, "Oi, bruv, I gotta go to work. Chip chip perio." But like, oh, man, if you've never watched it, I would suggest watching it. What I've been doing all fucking week since the Mythic Raid came out, Counter-Strike EPL is on, and oh my god, Eternal Fire upset Vitality today, the #1 team in the world. Eternal Fire, man, my favorite team to fucking watch since the major. And they deserve a fucking major. The first Turkish team to make it to a quarterfinals in a major, by the way. But I have either Mythic, I have either Liquid, Method, or Echo up on another monitor. And they kind of rotate because UK, EU, NA. So like when Echo gets off, Method comes on. When Method gets off, Liquid comes on, shit like that. But it's definitely worth a watch. It's very interesting. And like I'm learning a lot from watching it because I'm learning boss mechanics that I mean, for the most part, we got through 6 out of 8 bosses when we raided on Saturday, so we were pretty much there anyway. But yeah, it's very fun to watch. It's very interesting. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a dog in this race. I want to see Hoodie's fucking guild really take it, and then someday I want to be recruited to that guild. I want to be a part of the early shift when he needs me. I want him to call me up off of the bench.
Love it.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it live. I remember seeing one of the raids, and I think it was Liquid one, only because they had a footage of the like broadcasts. Like Liquid has this huge facility where they have all their players playing and stuff, and they had a broadcast room showing like certain POVs of their stream and stuff, and they had a camera of like the broadcast team celebrating like almost harder than the people that actually completed the raid because they were so fucking fired up. And
that honestly might have been Echo from Dragonflight, because I remember that clip, that whole fucking video. I was watching it live when it happened.
Yeah,
I made a clip of it, sent it to Dom. Dom tweeted it out, and then they copyright struck it.
I probably saw it from the Wicked Good Gaming Twitter.
I specifically remember that because I saw it happen live and we tweeted it. But yeah, they fucking went crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so cool. So I just think that's so cool how much of a team effort that is to put on this show for the race to world first and stuff like that. I've seen it with Destiny, and that's obviously a lot more toned down. It's a little different because it's first person shooter, but it's definitely more toned down and stuff. So yeah, I'll have to jump in later tonight and watch a little bit, and then that'll probably get the juices fired up, and I'm gonna go make a character tonight or something.
Hell yeah.
It's fun. Like, what class are you in? Do you want to play a DPS? Do you want to play a tank? Do you want to be a healer? What are you interested in?
I want to play the game somewhat like RuneScape, and that's probably the flaw to not play. Like I just want to like craft and skill and do stuff like that. But
you can do that.
It doesn't matter.
Shit. Obviously, I'm gonna have to kill shit, but I'd rather be like a tanky guy because I worry I'm gonna die a lot. So I'd rather be tanky and just be able to withstand hits and just be like, feed me more.
When I went from playing my DK for a week straight to I tried to level my warlock for one day. I was getting one shot by every fucking mob. That's like, and both of them are DPS. They're both DPS. Death Knight doesn't die. Warlock gets one shot by everything.
Yeah.
Like there's big differences in like a lot of the classes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you want to play something versatile, you could go Druid, because Druid has 2 different damage specs and can tank and can heal. So you have 4 different specs. They're the only class in the game, I think, with 4 different specs. So you have options. You can always try Druid first. You could also go like Hunter, because Hunter is ranged and you have a pet. So you can have a pet go and like tank for you, so you're not taking direct hits. That's a really good, I think, like easy starter class. But you still have a little bit of beefiness. You're like more beefy than like a mage or a warlock that also has pets. But they wear cloth, so they're like glass cannons. But a hunter is a good starting point. Very easy to understand. Rogue is also pretty cool because you can vanish and you can stealth. So if you get in trouble, you can just kind of back out. But yeah, I mean, you have plenty of options. And the good thing is that now there are quests for professions, so you can actually level by crafting. It takes a lot longer. It's going to take you longer, but you will get... Like in Dragonflight, I think I spent an entire level, like from 71 to 72, just gathering resources.
I think I did just jewel crafting for like 2 whole levels.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
So you will have
different
that.
ways to play the game.
Yeah, there are different ways to play. I mean, ultimately, you're going to need to quest. You're going to need to do dungeons and stuff like that. But there is a big emphasis on crafting, and you can make yourself a lot of money by doing it. And that'll make the end game that much easier for you too if you decide to do it. But yeah. Okay. So I don't have a good segue for this, but I wanted to talk about other games real quick. Just speaking of the other game, we were talking a lot about WoW, but I also mentioned Space Marine 2. And if you haven't seen it already, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 came out. I believe it was about 10 years in the making. I had never played the first one, but I had heard plenty of people over the past couple of years talk about how much they love the game and how much they were dying for a sequel. And Space Marine 2 got announced a few years ago, and I think it got delayed a few times. Saber Interactive is the developer, and
I think they swapped out a team too, because the team that made World War Z, I can't remember the fucking name. There was a zombie game with similar like flooding mechanics. I think they got brought in to finish it.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So the game was received extremely favorably. It is, I think, like almost 100% like positive reviews on Steam. I think that right now, just taking a look at the Steam charts for Space Marine 2, there are 70,000 people playing it right now, and it all-time peaked at almost over 250,000 players. Which is pretty crazy for a game that starts out as only single player. So right now, super popular. It is, I think, in probably like the top 30, 40 games on Steam. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's top 11. It is in 11th right now of games on Steam. And I mean, it is going pretty crazy. So really happy for the Saber team, and there's a lot of people that have been fans of the game. The game did get some mixed reviews. PC Gamer gave it a pretty shitty review. IGN gave it a very mid review. And there were a couple of other folks, but there were a lot of the fans have been singing its praises. The CEO of Saber Interactive left a comment on Asmongold's review of Space Marine 2. Asmongold, I believe, left a very favorable review of Space Marine 2 on his YouTube channel, and the CEO, Matthew Koch, had this to say. And I want to hear you guys' without framing it up too much. I'm going to read the full comment. It's only a couple sentences. I'm going to read the full comment, and I want to get you guys' instant reaction. We'll start. Bob, you already kind of know the backstory of it, but I'll start with you after this. But okay, so Matthew Koch said, "Hey man, CEO of Saber here. I love your videos. When we signed the deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted to do was a throwback game. We had the chance to work on something which by its nature was quote-unquote old school. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They're all too complex and too much of an investment. We worked on Halo back in the day, and that game could be distilled down to the simplest of shooting loops, but it was entirely addicting. That's what we wanted to recapture. I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. I spent time as CEO at Embracer, and I saw games that were made that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that's what games should be all about. And that comment was liked by Asmongold, and and it quickly.
Amen, brother.
It quickly caught wind. Everybody's been talking about it. There's been a lot of discourse back and forth about it. But Tiggy, what's your first kind of reaction to that comment? How do you feel about it? Just kind of without any additional context.
I mean, I think he hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think so many games are so comprehensive, and try to have so many different elements. We got that Valve Deadlock or whatever game. It's like a MOBA and a hero shooter, and there's minions and there's 6 lanes, and it's literally just fucking chaos on a map. And my roommates play it and try to tell me that it's good, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't even watch this for 5 seconds without being confused.
It looks really fun. Looks like it'll be an awful esport to watch.
Oh my god! I mean, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, they're stealing minions, they're stealing souls. I'm like, I get so confused. I'm like, dude, I can't even play this. I might just download old school RuneScape and click on rocks or something. I don't know, man. So I do think there is a good market for, and I think gamers are kind of coming back. I mean, a lot of gamers now are higher in age and they just want to play the old school games. So, I mean, we see Backyard Sports, trying to come back right now. Games like Helldivers. Super simple. You just drop in, you kill shit, you get back, you reload. I'm sure the Space Marine is probably something similar to that realm. It kind of looks like the same art style and, just super simplistic. And that's all it really needs to be. And I think the fact that he had the word fun in the message is huge. And that should be it should be highlighted, but it should be the most simplest concept when it comes to making the game. The game should be fun.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I mean, that should be the first ingredient, right? Like, it's like when you look at I don't know, like an organic thing from like Trader Joe's, it's like, oh, the first ingredient is whole grain or, whatever the fuck it is, right? Bob, what are your thoughts on that comment? I know you were saying amen, brother. What's your instant reaction to that?
So there was a lot of follow-up to that. There was a lot of people who are like coming back. I see a couple of different sides of this argument where it's like, I fully agree. I think if you're going for a game that is just balls to the wall, it's your goal for the game is for it to be fun, action packed. You don't need the consumer or the player to sit there and be like pondering existential life as they play through the game. If that's your goal and that's the game you want to put out and you put it out and it's a success and people enjoy it and people praise it for how fun it is, then you've succeeded. That's exactly what you should be going for. But again, there's also like a wide other side of games media and games journalists where like there's a couple. Did he make a comment of like pushing agendas and shit? I can't remember if he did. What at the end of it?
For the Saber quote?
Yeah.
No, it was something. The quote was, I spent some time as CEO at Embracer, and I saw games that made me want to cry with their.
You cut out. You cut out at the most important part.
I said I saw some games there that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. Yep. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that's what games should be about. So
people have taken that portion of the statement and been like, oh, anti-woke, anti-fucking this, that. Like, when I play video games, I want to either compete, I want to have fun, I want to disassociate with fucking real life. I want some form of escapism. I don't want a game to be shoving political agendas down my throat. I don't want games to be, trying to influence the way that I think about reality.
Yeah.
Because it's a game. It's different. It's completely different from real life. I want video games to be video games. I don't want video games to be fucking emulations of shit that's ongoing in real life. And I think that was a huge reason why Concord and Dustborn they fall flat on their face. There was a lot of message pushing. There was a lot of thematics that they wanted to distill into their player base. And unfortunately, I don't want to wish ill upon a game. I don't want to wish ill upon a game company or a publisher, but consumers vote with their wallets. They're the ones
Sure.
who dictate what they want to consume. They're the ones who dictate the games that they want to play. So if a game that is pushing, morals, ways to see the world differently, things to think differently, and it fails, and a game that is quite literally brain off, shoot gun succeeds,
Right.
like there's a reason to that, I think.
Right.
But there's a lot of people who are taking it out of context afterwards, and then they're like, I saw recently, like this past week, people saying like, "Oh, dude, Space Marine 2 is so good. It makes me start to realize that God of War Ragnarok is just such a bad video game. It's so bad." And the reasoning is because Space Marine 2 is fun to play. God of War 2 is more of a experience,
Right.
which unfortunately has been a lot of Sony games recently. They're just like experiences, but it's a fucking beautiful one, and it's a beautiful story that's being told in a fucking media that's not a television show
Right.
or a movie in a game platform.
Right.
So there's different corners of the games industry where when you're releasing a game, do you want it to be balls to the wall, fun, action packed? That's all you want. Great, and it succeeds. Great. Do you want to tell a really heart-wrenching story with incredible visuals, great characters, great writing, great cinematography and environments? That's like the Sony side of things, where those types of games like The Last of Us, God of War come out. Do you want to focus on like big multiplayer games? Like, there's a lot of different things that go into it, and I think that they captured a great audience for the product that they wanted to put out. Whatever discourse comes after that is beyond my fucking comprehension. Video games are made to be enjoyed for people who want to enjoy them the way they want to enjoy them. They're not going to buy a game that they don't want to play. They're not going to buy a game they don't fucking vibe with. If people don't vibe with games that are trying to put messages out there, they're not going to buy them. If they want to buy games that are just fucking raw fun, they're going to buy them. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been just trying to open up a couple of different quotes about the comment here. Video Games Chronicles said that the CEO was condemned. Sorry, let me get the quote right.
Grow the fuck up.
Saber Interactive CEO Matthew Koch has condemned games that impose morals on gamers. There was nothing condemning about that comment. He also, there was also a couple of tweets that are like, he's spewing anti-woke crusader slop and is condemning diversity in video games under a well-known misogynist Asmongold's YouTube review of Space Marine 2. And I'm like, dude, he's not like condemning anything. He's saying,
This is the game I
want to make this game because I want to play it. And when I was a CEO at a company, I was not crazy about the games that we as a company were pushing because they weren't what I wanted to play. That's all he says. He says, when I was at Embracer, I saw games that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or whatever. We just want to do some glory kills and get to the heart rate up a little. For me, that is what games should be about. That is one man's opinion. He's not saying that Saber Interactive believes this. He's not saying that fucking, everybody should believe. He's not saying this is what everybody should believe. In no way, shape, or form does he condemn those type of games. He says, this is what I want. And we made a game that we wanted to play. And for me personally, Matthew Koch, the CEO of fucking Saber Interactive, I want a game that is just fun, and that's it. And that's what he made. And everybody is projectile shitting down their legs about it, and I don't understand. There's like, I mean, I do understand, but I don't understand. It's just like, it seemingly criticizes games that impose morals, praises Space Marine 2 and Wukong, why a Space Marine 2 exec's YouTube comment became a lightning rod.
Well, okay, you want to know why people are so upset about it? Because he put Black Myth Wukong in next to it.
That's true.
Because you want to know why? Black Myth Wukong, Chinese communist propaganda. Am I right, my brothers? Am I right, my brothers?
I will not be commenting on that.
That's actually a conflict of interest for Tiggy, so.
Where's my hammer and sickle?
Yeah.
Am I right, my
Am I-
brothers?
I mean, like, so he's just saying, I like these games, so that's what we made. And that's it. And unfortunately, yeah, you're going to kick over a hornet's nest of people who are going to just be the worst. And there's room for both. And like you said, Bob, like, Sony has these like super highly cinematic, this started with Uncharted. This started with Uncharted back on PS3, where you had this game that felt like a movie, but there have been games before that where they have something to say. It is a cinematic. There are always going to be games that are cinematic, and there are like even like Scorsese will say like, I'm going to do one for the studio and then one for me, like where I have something to say by making this film, and that's what we're doing, right? Like, I'm going to have one that's going to be a surefire moneymaker that's going to get put asses in seats, and then I'm going to make a little passion project that's all about Catholicism, which I'm pretty sure he's doing, like a Jesus-related movie, because it's just for him.
Passion of the Christ 2, baby.
That's right.
Bring them back around.
Crucify this. But...
it's just fucking machine guns.
But yeah, so... people are literally violently, explosively shitting themselves over this when it's really, I mean, I don't think he's spewing anti-woke crusader slop. What he's saying is that he hopes that there's going to be more games like this. And I don't think, I mean, Sea-Dog just said it in the chat too. It's okay to have both types of these games. If you want to play a game that really...
I think he was referring to super fun games and super cinematic games. I don't think he was also referring to like the underneath pushing an agenda game.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, no, 100%. And there's a little column A, there's a little column B. You can probably look deeply into any like very cinematic game and find the message underneath. And there's going to be people that there are going to be games that will push the own developer or publisher's morals onto somebody, and that might be the colloquial opinion or like sphere of thought of that team. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that this guy is saying, I want to just play a game, and that's that. That's all I want to do, and that's all you're going to get. And he actually didn't even say, like, we here at Saber Interactive promise you that we are never going to make a game that pushes a moral onto you. He didn't even say that. He could have said, "Hey, we're going to try our hand at making a game that really is really powerful in meaning and delivers a strong message next time." He could have said that, but he didn't. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't think that there needs to be this much. I mean, there never needs to be this much discourse over it. But I don't think this
Wait, did you see the latest update?
No, what happened? Did Liquid kill?
Saber Interactive is now working on a game about the Palestine-Israeli conflict.
Jesus.
Again, no comment.
Christ.
No comment.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand why. I mean, I do. Again, I shouldn't say that. I do understand why this.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do understand.
Unfortunately, I know all too well why this is taking off the way that it is, but it I don't know. Out of all the people out there in the world that are like the obnoxiously anti-woke people, and then you have the obnoxiously, I don't even like using the word woke, but like the obnoxiously, like, let's say, agenda pushing people. And then you have the people that are like, every single thing that has a black person in it is woke. And that's also fucking wrong. But those people exist. And that's who you get in these comments that are like, we stand with you, bro. Like, yeah, fucking, we need hot white dudes to lead video games again. And this guy's, whoa, dude, I'm not talking about that. I just want to make a game with a chainsaw in it and not have to worry about it. That's literally all he said. But those are the people you're going to get now. So you're going to have the people that are like, whoa, this character's gay? I didn't know that wokeness, the woke mind virus, was brain rotting the toilet minds conglomerate cabal at the studio.
All females Ghostbusters?
The feminists are taking over. No, that's exactly...
To be fair, that movie was fucking awful.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, I mean... I think in the theater I liked it, but then when I left,
watched it.
When I left, I was like, "The fuck just happened?"
There was too many fucking queef jokes.
There was an aggressive amount of queef jokes.
There were like a dozen.
But you're gonna have those people that are like, there's a gay person or there's a person of color in this game, and they immediately are like, woke people, and it's just like, no, it's okay. You can have it's possible to have a diverse cast of characters, and that is fine. That's totally fine. Is the game good? Cool. That doesn't take away from that.
What do you think? What do you think these people did when they found out Samus Aran was a woman?
Probably still don't know.
There's someone. Well, this like level of brain rot didn't exist back then. I don't think. I think they just went like, huh. You know, I don't know.
Or they bought Perfect Dark, and it was a woman.
Yeah, wasn't it like there was definitely a video somewhere of like a very old, it's like a hand camera video of somebody playing like Perfect Dark on N64, and you like look in the mirror and you see that you're a girl, and the guy was like, "What?" But like she's on the cover of it. I don't know. People are fucking idiots. But anyway, there's morons on both sides of this. But the point of the matter is that I don't necessarily think what Matthew Koch said is wrong or inaccurate or off base. And it's certainly not like anti-woke crusader slop. It's just like, hey, I want to play a game where we can just like get the heart rate up and kill some aliens with chainsaws. Is that is that so much to ask?
Dude,
No.
but in the parallel fucking universe to our own, Saber Interactive released like, they just released God of War Ragnarok, and Asmongold in the parallel universe was praising it for the storytelling and the cinematography and all that shit. And then somebody else was misquoting that quote, saying, "Oh my God, they're against fun video games now." Like that's the parallel universe we live in.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
Now people just want 8-hour-long movies.
Ugh. Another game with chainsaws and dudes with thick necks? When are we going back to the golden age of gaming when all we had was diverse cast of characters with inner soliloquies and I don't know. I can't even like do it without my face hurts from like trying not to laugh. I don't even fucking know, dude. People are insane. Sea Dog said, "I can have all types of games, some with good themes and morales and learning, some stupid games like Fortnite. Fortnite's not that stupid. Same thing with streamings and shows. I think a normal person like me who enjoys comic book shows and different games like Assassin's Creed and Star Wars, there's no safe spaces to talk about anything without a fight breaking out." That's very true, Sea Dog. That's very true. There is no safe place. You know what's a safe place? This podcast chat. Just Play Video Games, man. Wicked Good Gaming. Established 2016. We've been saying it for almost 10 years at this point. That's sickening. Land the train. Final thoughts on anything that we, Tiggy, I know that me and Bob were just kind of screaming and yelling for a second there, but what do you got?
No, it was good. I mean, you guys are very passionate. I agree wholeheartely. I mean, even when I did my review of the comment, I didn't even realize there was any fucking issue. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
There's a whole fucking war going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
I'm like, what's going on? I mean, I was at a concert last night. I was golfing this morning for my squadron, and there's like 30 texts from you guys, and I'm like, what's going on? What did I miss? I missed the ship. So yeah, not much. I'm just gonna be golfing this weekend. League of Legends Worlds is starting next week, so super exciting. NA, we got 100 Thieves, Team Liquid, and our boys at FlyQuest. We're super excited, and yeah, so super excited. Going to be watching that, probably playing League, and excited to get into the world of Warcraft.
Hell yeah,
Dude.
Bob. Anything else?
Liquid on stage 4 right now. 12% left on Orvanax. They are running out of space in the fucking chamber to kill this boss. Holy shit, they killed all the ads. There's one ad left. 10%. The whole raid is still up. I think they're going to take...
We're going to have a live reaction here.
Dude, if they can pump right now, they actually might be able to do this. Yeah, Wicked Good Gaming suck it to just fucking everybody who complains about fucking video games. Shut up. Shut the fuck up and play video games. They wiped. 6.
What a quote.
I don't even remember what I said because I'm looking at the fucking percentage counter. They got under 6%. Oh, they're still trying to pump right now. There's only like 5 people left up. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I don't
nothing.
think they got
Nothing from
this.
me.
I don't think they got
Patreon.com/wickedgoodgaming. Run it up. Support us for as little as $1, and just play video games. That's all for episode 406 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Fight.